Welcome back, my fellow duplicants, to Oxygen Not Included. So, the last time here, we actually made some liquid oxygen. So, obviously, this time I'm going to be trying to make some liquid hydrogen down here to fuel up these rockets. Now, I've been gone for about 24 hours or so because I got a little sick. But in the meantime, Clay Entertainment has managed to push 3 different updates. Okay, so the most notable changes that they've made here is that they've adjusted the way that ethanol kind of works and its balance with the trees. So they kind of changed that a fair bit. So essentially they did what I pretty much thought they would do here, and they made the trees a little bit harder to grow in that they require dirt now instead of phosphorus, and they do require more polluted water. Now, I did do some reading on the forums that people that actually did the math. You can still grow trees and generate power from it and all of that stuff, but it does change the balance of all of that. Another notable change is that these light bulb requirements have been removed. So you can see that right there. Light requirements have been removed from rooms. However, the bonus for working a machine in light has been raised by 15%. So there's a reason for the light, but the light isn't necessary for the room. Good choice. I like that. So apparently these trees should be slightly different now. Let's see if I have this. I just want to get some seeds. I don't really care about that. Arbor trees, please. So apparently these trees now only grow 5 branches, so they actually produce a little bit less wood. That's the other change to it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, well, maybe my trees are legacy trees in that they have more branches. They're extra mature. But the idea is that they will actually grow less branches. I would say the last change here, that's really a big one here, is they added new foods to the grills and everything. So things are a little bit different than they used to be. Well, which are different than they used to be, so things are constantly different. So cooked fish is now on the menu. So all of our pacu fillets can be cooked up here, and that'll give us a quality of +3, which is nice. Barbecue is now back in the electric grill, so you can see that that is +3 as well. But that requires meat, which is a little bit, that isn't the same as the fish. So those are still separate. And what we have over here now is we have a surf and turf, which is going to be barbecue and cook fish together. And that gives us a quality of +4 right there. So that's a great quality. The mushroom wrap, I can't remember if that's new or not. If anything, it's still new. They've also kind of rebalanced the food, so you get a few more calories as you move up into the higher tiers. So it does make sense to improve the quality of your food, not only for the morale bonus, but for the slight increase in the amount of nutrients you get out of it. I haven't done the math on all of them, but every one that I've done has actually increased slightly, only by a few hundred, but it does make a difference. And soul food has now moved to the Frost Burger. Look at that. Delicious. You're making me hungry. So that is a frost bun with lettuce and barbecue. Look at that. +6. Of course, it takes lettuce, which has not been changed in how it is actually grown. Oh, maybe it has changed. Maybe. I don't know. Was it always 500 grams for bleach stone? I don't know because I never tried to grow it. Another one that's kind of been adjusted here is the nosh bean. It now consumes ethanol. So that's got to be one interesting plant to eat. Okay, so as far as my base is concerned, I'm actually just pumping out this random bit of sour gas that actually found its way into my main chamber here. What happened, I think, is I must have dug into a couple of pockets of really, really high pressure sour gas. Like if you look at this spot, that's 32 kilograms per tile. And I think I unleashed a lot of that over here and into my base. If you look down here, that's at 3 kilograms per tile. So that's a fair bit of sour gas. So that kind of leaked into my base, and at the same time, I was having issues with the water, so the oxygen went down. So what I'm doing is I'm kind of forcing this sour gas down below, and I'm just piping it out of my base. So it's actually just being piped out up here. Oh yeah, and there was a recommendation to actually take this, put it up on a tile like this so that it doesn't heat up when it hits this tile, because that tile is at 74 degrees Celsius, which isn't too bad. But that is a good recommendation, so I'll go ahead and do that. But yes, I got sick there for a couple of days. You know how it is. I've been inside my room constantly for like the last 6 months, and then every time you pop your head up to be a little bit social, you catch that bug that's going around, or at least that's how my mom always says it. Catching germs from strangers, disgusting. I just need like a real life Atmo suit so that I can just, be safe every time I go outside. Should we put some liquid oxygen in these rockets? I think we should. Although this one already has all of the oxalite and petroleum in it. Oh, I probably should. Let's fire it up. It's not going to go very far. It's just going to go here and back. Although I suppose it should go here because I've yet to find another good source of fluorine. Yo, game. All right. Well, I'm about to send my research rocket off to this location. Or maybe it's already been there and back, but it never detected the surface. Study surface is the last thing. There's a good chance I might be able to get some fluorine or a better fluorine deposit than trace amounts, but I do need the fluorine to get the supercoolant if I'm even going to have a chance at making liquid hydrogen, because I need about 400 kilograms of that stuff. All right, so in that case, the squish rocket here needs to go that far. Ooh, wow, 1,667. But what if I do it on liquid oxygen? Okay, there's the reason to go to liquid oxygen before I actually launch that thing off. It's one fuel tank, one oxidizer tank, 777 kilograms. All right, let's see if I can get that to work. We'll deconstruct this, not a big deal. The oxalite will drop down and we'll fuel up this one, and that will go off and do some research. Sweep that up, please, over here. Good job, super mate. It's like he actually did what I told him to do this time. Liquid fuel tank. You want to make this right there? Ew. Gotta be careful with this fuel stuff. What's going on over here? No! Don't go eat! That's what I should be doing! Okay, so I was thinking about this loop over here. And the one thing I don't want to have is just liquid fuel that's stuck over here that gets exposed to really hot gases and potentially causes the liquid oxygen to heat up and burst inside the pipes. So one of the tricks is to actually let it flow out and then have it flow back in to this chamber. And I think I can do that without increasing the load on everything down here, right? So I don't have to pump more of that liquid oxygen. I don't know. A part of me wants to just drop it in this chamber. The other part of me just wants to put it right back into, which I think I should do, because I think it'll be all right. So here's my thought process. All right, if I should have thought of this beforehand. But if I put my return line right here, like this, and then pipe that right back into right there, what'll happen is the return of this liquid will then be cooled, or shall we say averaged, with everything that's inside of this tank. So I'll actually make a liquid oxygen loop over here that I can use to fuel up rockets. That way I can pump it safely at full 10 kilograms and have it return without it being a problem. So one of the problems that I could potentially have, I guess one way I can get away from, I don't know what I'm talking about, but what I'm trying to say here is if you run liquid inside of a pipe at 999 grams, or just under 1 kilogram, for whatever reason, it doesn't phase change inside the pipe. I personally think it's an exploit, but you can actually do that and get away with it. The thing is, it would take a really long time to fuel up those rockets, which I'm not a fan of. So this way, I can use relatively cheap pipes to run over here, and then I'll convert to some more insulated materials later on. I'm going to have to really rework the pipes and everything here, so they might be slightly spaghetti for just a little bit. Well, this isn't even the final location for rockets. I'm still waiting on steel. Okay, so this is kind of a temporary solution, but it will at least show you the idea of having that liquid flow the way flow the way I want it to work. Okay, you'll see the concept at least. And just out of curiosity, how close am I to steel? Oh, I got 5,000. That's not bad. And I think I can start to plan a little bit. Okay, so I know that the flame is going to be 3 wide by 9 tall from one of my previous experiments here. So that's going to be right in this area. This is where that flame is going to do all of its heating. Inside of here, what I'm going to use is a slightly different design. I haven't really tested it yet, but I have a feeling it'll work. What I'm going to use is diamond shift plates, and that'll kind of provide a way to not let any gases out of this area, right? So it works like a background tile, but it also increases the mass down here significantly. Rather than just using 100 kilogram tiles down here, which are made of diamond, they don't hold as much thermal capacity because there's just not as much mass. The other thing I can do is I can add in water inside of here to increase that mass even more so that I could just store up a ton of energy down here. So as it turns out, I have a lot of diamond, so yeah, we'll make lots of diamond. Ooh, can I afford all of that? All right, that's a pretty beastly heat sink down there. Now, what in the world do I have all the way up here? Oh, how am I even going to get to that one? Oh yeah, that was another thing that they did. They reworked the geysers a little bit so that they have less of a range that they operate in, so they're a little bit different. Oh, so this is working now. Maybe. I'm still worried that it's actually going to destroy it. But, oh, hello. That was weird. You know, once I get the liquid hydrogen thing up and running, I don't really know if this is even worth having. I mean, for the most part, I'm just going to try to convert it all into liquid. And once it's in that form, it's going to condense a lot. Oh, which means I should really just go ahead and redo this. Although it's working so well right now. Okay, so another thing that I'm going to do down here is I'm just going to expand kind of my power distribution a little bit. I don't need more batteries, I just need more transformers. Okay, so here's kind of the main issue with using not the best materials for your pipes. So this one here is made out of igneous rock, insulated igneous rock, but the liquid inside of there is actually such that it's actually exploding the pipes. So I'm going to use a valve just to kind of reduce this until I can get the temperature down on it. We'll see if it works. Otherwise, I'll just have to make that insulation run a bunch. Oh, there goes the research rocket. See ya! Alright, so this will complete the loop here, and it'll allow this liquid to flow through. But what I'm going to do is if I set it to 999, for whatever reason, even if the liquid gets warm enough to explode in the pipes, it won't phase change inside of there. At least, that's currently how it works in the game. We'll see. I've always thought this to be kind of an exploit. But here we go. So you can see that. You can see the temperatures of that. It shouldn't burst inside the pipe. The leading stuff down here that's actually like 10 kilograms, that might heat up enough to actually cause a problem, but we'll see. Yeah, so you can see where it's getting damaged a little bit there. It's making its way back. If we circulate this enough, it'll cool the pipes down. So you can see here, look at this, yeah, negative 158. So normally that would be exploding inside the pipe. But let's see what happens over here. It'll probably blow up when it tries to merge. But yeah, anyhow, it's heading out at negative 195 or so. But it's coming back in at negative 146. So what happens when that starts to run again? Yes, you see there was heat damage right in that one pipe because it built up too much. Alright, so I'll increase that for a while and see if we can get the actual insulated pipe down low enough via this method. Oh, I did liquid fuel tank. My bad. Whoops. I built the wrong thing. I want liquid oxidizer. Did I build that over here? Did I send the wrong... Did I send one rocket off with liquid oxygen in it? I don't know what I did. What is this? I'll increase this back to 10 kilograms. Let's see what happens. That needs to be 7. And there we go. Now we're flowing 10 once again. Because it's been pre-cooled a little bit. Now you see it's still having heat damage. Yeah, exploding the entire way. But there we go. We still got it to run. So, the rocket is firing up. It's using liquid oxygen this time. See ya! Yeah, see, no, that's just not working. This just needs to go back in there and then be recondensed. If I want to use the 999 trick, I can't just run it through that tank because every time it tries to go out of that tank, it explodes that pipe. Okay, so I've put 2 of my dupes here on more of a night shift. Flipped them opposite of what the other 2 super dupes are doing. That way I can at least continue to build things throughout the night. I don't end up with like a dead spot every night when I'm trying to build this stuff. Okay, so I've changed the way I'm running these pipes a little bit. I have insulated insulation over here, so that just doesn't change temperature. And then I've put my best ceramic insulation down here. And I'll try to cool this stuff down at 999. So at least those liquid pipes get nice and cold, and maybe if I get it all together, I can do that, but otherwise I think I might just more stuff. Why are you breaking? Why are you running backwards? What? Clay, I know you updated the game, but man, you make pipes run backwards now. Ah! So much for that strategy working. Didn't work at all. Okay, so that was one of the updates as well. Pipes will run towards like an open end or something like that. Correctly update their temperature frame to frame, right? That was one of them. Fluid/gases in a dead end pipe will flow towards a destination. Oh, so that's exactly what happened there. I had a broken pipe and everything from here just... Wow, okay, well that just doesn't work. Okay, fine. Tell me the 999 trick only works on insulated pipes? Why is this not even flowing? Because that's broken? This has been my #1 frustration with rockets. These stupid pipes. Oh, come on, just repair the dumb thing. It's priority level 9. Okay, so there we go. Now it's running, and no, they're not... Okay, so the liquid oxygen here, get this, is minus 20 degrees Celsius. For some odd reason, in some spots it explodes, but in others it doesn't. Alright, so there we go. Now it's flowing through, and it's coming back at 40 degrees Celsius. Let's see what happens up here. Hopefully it'll condense quickly. Ooh. Ooh, keep up with that. Okay, so on the plus side here, the pipe is cooling down. So you can see that this has now hit minus 195. Okay, so on a positive note, you can see down here this liquid pipe has cooled down a lot. Its temperature is down to 194. But then when you get to the insulated stuff, it's still, you know, quite warm. The actual pipe is quite warm. So running regular pipes, if you use the 999 trick, you can actually cool it down. Although it is heating up everything over here too, so I have to keep that in mind too. That's why I increased the amount of liquid I had down here. So I took it up to 100 kilograms. But I just don't have enough insulated stuff. I need more ceramic. I need more insulation too. I wish you could make pipes out of insulated mafic. That would be relatively useful. But unfortunately you can't. Okay, so the one thing I'm going to try different over here than what I did up top is that rather than having this run a cooling cycle or, you know, this or that, if I run over here to this guy, the aqua tuner, I'll actually dump that back into the cooling loop so that the cooling loop continues to have liquid in it all the time rather than just when it's cold enough, which is what we have going on up here. So that might allow me to switch this in the future if I want to put it up here, and that might make this a little bit more productive. Not that it isn't productive enough. It currently is very productive, so it's not a big deal, but... Okay, so my supply rocket here is going to be returning. Should see it land any moment now. And yeah, that definitely heated those pipes up back there. You can't see it right now, but they did get a little bit warmer. Not too bad. So this setup here does actually work in that the liquid is flowing, it's flowing correctly. So what I might be able to actually use is if the rocket is present, I can push 10 kilograms, and if it's not, I push 999. That is until I have enough insulated materials, maybe. All right, so that brought back a decent amount of fullerene this time. We got 4 kilograms out of it, so that's enough to make all of the supercoolant I need to run this hydrogen system down there. All right, so that is completely full. I'm now running 10 kilogram spots through this. The problem is that that'll make the pump run all the time, and I don't really want that. But there goes the rocket. I'll have to get more. Okay, so that's the trick, right? Okay, so here's what I got going on. I have a liquid shutoff inside of here. So that way I can actually turn the liquid off when no rockets are present. But whenever a rocket is present via a space scanner down here, then I'll turn the pump on, and that's when I'll run fuel through this in order to fuel up the liquid tanks. And if the pipes are hot, then I'll run it through at 999, and then once the pipes cool down, you know, below the temperature, then I'll actually turn it back up to 10 kilograms. And that should solve my problems. Ideally, I'll use insulated ceramic or insulation over here if I can. Not only that, I'm continuing to drop the temperature more and more over here, so now it's set to 209. So that will get us pretty close to frozen oxygen, but not quite. Hey, look at this! My base has cleaned itself. Excellent. So we got rid of a lot of that sour gas. We now have oxygen. All the better to breathe with. Just look at these pipes. One after another after another. Everything's just flowing up into here. Oxygen, a little bit of waste. Hydrogen will flow up over here. It's crazy. Absolutely crazy. All right. All right, let's dig this out. Construct everything that I need down here. Ooh, we'll even build a hydrogen engine right here. Exactly, just like that. Bunker tile. And then I'll build my second silo, and that will be right here. What type of engine should I do there? Should probably just do a petroleum engine. I would plan these stages, but, you know, in this game. Come on. I'll do a liquid tank down here, and that lines up with... Maybe I'll start this off with a cargo bay. Or some sort of capturing device, you know, down here. And then I'll do liquid tanks right up there. And then do oxidizer on top of that, so everything kind of staggers out. Oh, who came back? The research. Excellent. Can I detect that there's a duplicate up here and then fuel the rocket? Is that how I can do that? So I have a duplicate up there. What if I put a duplicate motion sensor in this area? Because that would be kind of cool, because then you could know if a duplicate was in here, that you could say, okay, because of that, I will fuel the rocket, because you can see that the space scanner here does not actually detect it. Or this one here, it actually doesn't detect that it's back, right? It only runs when it wants to return. You didn't detect the surface, dupe. What are you doing? Okay, so now the automation says it's true because Bubbles is there, but not true. Huh. Okay. Okay, so I'm going to send this rocket back to the same place it went last time, but this time I'm using liquid oxygen, so that actually requires less petroleum to get there. So what I actually can do is I could get rid of this research module up here, since I only have 2 more that I can pull back from that place, and just run out there with another cargo bay. Since I'm using liquid oxygen, it's actually more efficient that way. It would take 1,564 kilograms, but way to not even open the doors. Did you detect it? Yeah! Okay, so here's what I could do. I was just trying to think, how could I potentially automate this and still kind of maintain this consistent flow? So one thing I could do, okay, so here's what I could do, right? If I put a sensor here that is looking for liquid oxygen, I could pretty much let this thing run with a fraction of liquid oxygen through it all the time. That's just to keep the pipe cool, you know, in case other rockets are running off around it. And then it won't flash and damage the pipes. However, if there's no liquid oxygen being detected, then I could have it run to a high flow state where I'll push 10 kilograms. And the reason that would detect that is because we're filling up a fuel tank. So that's how I could detect whether or not a rocket is back. It's kind of crazy, but I think it'll work. What would that look like? Okay, so here's what I'm going to do. Aha. Okay. I'll use insulated insulation down here. And then for this liquid valve, that will be my super low flow. Okay, so I'm going to use highly insulated stuff right here, but what I have is I'm going to put this liquid valve right here. So it's really, really hard to see, but what's going on here is as I'm flowing out of this tank, the liquid has the option of flowing down here first. And this is going to be set to a very, very small amount of oxygen. So it will always be open and liquid should always be flowing through this and back into the tank. But I can make that number very, very small because all it's doing is A, keeping the pipe cool a little bit, which isn't really that big of a deal once it cools down the first time. And B, it's going to tell me whether or not there is a tank present down here. And if this is detected as there's no liquid oxygen here, then I'll turn on the big floodgates down there and pump 10 kilograms of liquid oxygen through the pipe. Now, yes, I could definitely clean up this arrangement, but if it works, I'll at least have a method. So for example, I can set this to 9,900 and set that to 100, so it combines up into 10 kilograms. Yes, exactly. So now this is flowing at 9.9, and then once I add the second option here, it should come out at 10 kilograms. This is going to look for, not a temperature, liquid element. There we go. So yes, both of these are flowing together to run at 10 kilograms. Oh, come on. Come on, dupes! There we go. And that's going to look for liquid oxygen. Okay, so right now it's not detecting any oxygen, so therefore it's flowing quickly. And that's because I have two tanks down here that I'm trying to fill up. 776, and then this one at 1,564. It also helps that I'm running this liquid colder now. I'm getting it very close to its freezing point, and that gives me a larger delta. But a lot of these pipes have cooled down now. Except for the insulated pipes. Those are not cold. Oh, meteor damage. What? How? What? Why do you hate me, game? Stop that. What are you doing that for? Those bunker doors are closed. Current status locked. Apparently not. Okay. Let's go ahead and fire up this rocket then. Get it out of there. Okay, so now this liquid has flowed back over here, and you see what happens? It's now only running 100 kilograms of oxygen. So that's cool. I have a way to detect whether or not a tank is present. And it does take a little bit of energy, right? We're only running a bit there, but you can see the liquid pipe did heat up, but not quite enough to cause the liquid oxygen to flash into a gas. Well, okay, it's also not at 10 kilograms, but stop! Stop, game! Stop beating me up with the meteorites. Okay, change of plans. I'm not going to run back to that same asteroid. I'm actually going to run out further to 50,000 kilometers and see what we have out here. And there it goes. And because the contents is low, nothing's exploding. Cool. Okay, so this crazy little arrangement, it does indeed, it works. So if I wanted to, I could set that to be even more efficient. 9990, and then this one's just 10. Cool. All right, so that's a method. Again, it's not very clean, but it is a method. What is this? Oh, it's a frost burger. Mmm, delicious. What is going on down here? How is that not refrigerated? What's going on here? That's a good burger. Don't waste that burger. Actually, let's take a look at the consumables here. Ooh. Oh, that all looks really good. Morale plus 8 for the barbecue. Oh, plus 16 for the pepper bread. Look at that soul food frost burger right there, plus 16. Now, to be fair, a lot of my dupes have a lot more morale than they need. So, I'll try to reduce that down just a little bit. Save some of those good foods for dupes that have even higher. Crap, I just brought in another dupe. Why did I do that? Oh, welcome to the base, Travaldo. You've got nowhere to stay. Actually, where's my astronaut at? Aha! Travaldo, you can just hang out in this spot? Oh no, I messed everything up. Now where's everybody at? Stinky, you're there. Okay, Otto, this is your spot, right? Yeah, you know that won't be a problem. The astronauts just sleep in the spaceship anyhow, so you can just hang out there. Bugger Puppy won't even mind. Shh, don't tell him. Alright, let's just crank up all of these new skills for all of my new dupes. Do we got ranching, improved ranching on some of these dupes? Hans! What? Why don't you have any skills? There you go. Now you got skills. Maybe that isn't flowing quite enough. Something is still getting damaged back there. Maybe 100's the right way to go. Yeah, there we go. So a slightly cleaner setup of the same sort of thing looks like this. The fuel comes out, it'll drop down, and this will be the out over here. This is the return line back there. So look at the cooking go. Man, dupes are hungry. I'm hungry. It's 2 o'clock, still haven't eaten. So now when we go to check the food, oh yeah, pretty much all of them turned off. That we're running last cycle right there. Nice. That's so cool. Okay, so it's time for some more super coolant. Let's go ahead and make some of that down here. I think Miss Crimson's got it. Nope, maybe not. Oh, I guess I already have some right there. Okay, so look at how cold this steam turbine managed to get up here. It's actually cold enough to turn this oxygen into liquid. I guess I don't have to worry about stuff overheating. All right, cool. So this rocket just came back, and now we've detected the lack of flow, so we're running at 10 kilograms. So that will fill up the rocket. Biker Pup's going to realize he no longer has a bed, which is unfortunate. We've managed to crash into this bunker door again. Why? That wasn't a problem, but now it is. Maybe I'll just put my space scanners over here. Maybe that'll help. Not like it matters all that much. It's still working. So, there we go, Biker Pup. Have fun. Apparently that is disconnected. Are you connected now? Huh. Okay, maybe it's just... What? But the doors are still operating. What? Don't worry about it. Have a good day. Okay, cool. So the lack of flow has now been detected, and you can see the last of the 10 kilograms are flowing out, and then we go back to that low flow state. I like that. That's really cool. All right, so while I didn't get my liquid hydrogen up and running today, I did at least manage to find a way to automate the filling of my rocket's liquid tanks. So this method here seems to work out pretty good. I like that. So I'm going to go ahead and repeat that over here to the other tanks as I need them. And I'll figure out my strategy as I get more and more rocket silos. The one thing that's going to kind of throw me off here is that I've got this random geyser right down there. So we'll see. Maybe I'll end up with a couple shorter rockets, and I'll just kind of have 2 big rockets right here, and then the rest will be a little bit shorter as I move over here to the left. We'll see. I'll have to figure that out next time. Thanks for watching, guys. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed this episode here of Oxygen Not Included. As always, stay awesome, guys. Peace. Brothgar out.